All right, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Got Tobias, Shaq. All right, Man United time, your time, your boy De Gea. I know we've had mad conversations about your boy De Gea. It's like for me, Keita, where you know in your head they've got the talent, but they don't really fulfill it. But De Gea's maybe fulfilled it, to be fair. But as my man, your manager, being ruthless now. Because I've always said the last 2 years, 3 years, Man United, unfortunately, with my childhood, see them winning leagues after leagues and Champions Leagues. I've said to you, with De Gea in goal, I don't think you can win leagues and championships with him in goal. Now he's been ruthless, literally took away the contract from De Gea. And it looks like Onana's coming in. Tobias, is he showing that, you know what, De Gea, you can't win major trophies with De Gea in charge, in charge of your goal, number one goalkeeper?
You know what? This is gonna go on for a while about De Gea in this one because there's context behind everything, isn't it? Like, this is the problem. So I know you've never been a fan of De Gea or now. Say what you want. He's won everything bar the Champions League, even though he's been there 12 years. So at a club Man United size should be a given. He's probably the last. He's the last of the Fergie era, probably. It's got to be him and Phil Jones. Phil Jones just gone.
Yeah,
So got to be the last of the Fergie ears. Yeah, so the last ones that know what it's like to lift the Premier League. But if we start from the beginning with De Gea, obviously start a bit shaky. Was only under Fergie for what, 3 seasons max. But after that time, saved us many occasions, many seasons. Without De Gea, we would have been in trouble. Flirted with Real Madrid, obviously with how we was run, and it was saving face. Agent done a great job, great contract, $350 a week. What keeper's ever been put on $350 a week? So then, and obviously I've stated that he flirted with Real Madrid for a while. A couple of seasons that went on for. And I will say, if it was Real Madrid now, if he did go to Real Madrid, he wouldn't be at Real Madrid now. Like, so he's done well to sort of stay, or we've been that bad that he's been able to stay at United that long without it being highlighted. So he's won many Player of the Season's award. You got to say he's got to be up to about 4 or 5. He's won, so it shows his importance. Come.
No, I hear you say it shows his importance, but I think if you look at De Gea from his tenure from starting until now, I think De Gea's strengths was always an amazing shot stopper, pull off impossible saves. Never been great with his feet, never been dominant in the air for crosses, and never been good sweeper keeper. But what with De Gea would pull out absolute worldies that you would think, you know what, he's important. But the last 3 years, though, Tobias, he's not even pulling out the worldies. Now the mistakes are getting regular. So now the deficiencies he had are showing even more because he's not pulling out the worldies no more.
No.
Because he's never been good at them type of things.
Cool. I'm getting there. So over time now, football's now evolved. Yeah. I think the initial start to his downfall was international level, because once he started making the mistakes at Spain and he's got dropped at Spain, then everything else started getting highlighted and there was that decline. Football's now evolved. Everyone wants their keeper to play out from the back. You're talking mid keepers are playing out the back, like Reyes and Brighton's goalkeeper. Yeah. You know, everyone's playing that way now. So you go down to Nottingham Forest with Navas. So everyone's playing that way. Similar to Hugo Lloris, football evolved, left him behind. He took too long to try and evolve and try and improve his game, and was happy to stay where he was. This season, I give him his tried. Obviously, you can say managers, that's it. And did we have the managers that wanted to play that way prior to that anyway? LVG was probably the only one, and he had hella problems at the time. So De Gea was least of them. But Mourinho didn't want to play that way. Solskjaer didn't. Well, Solskjaer pretended he wanted to play that way, but really didn't.
He tried and then backtracked.
Yeah, so we Ten Hag, and Ten Hag's got his system. We know what he wants, what he needs. But the biggest problem for De Gea has always been his wages. That's what it all boils down to. Even now, we can say that he was treated however he was treated by United, retracting a contract, Ten Hag. But I've said it for the longest. It's not personal, man. I've seen the greats get discarded like that after years at the club. Look what they done to Roy Keane, my guy. That's my real guy. You know what I'm saying? So football moves on, isn't it? But it's never good. But if you look at it, it's always been the money. 350, you expect that's why everyone's talking. And it hinders anything they want to do in the transfer market. Look at Kepa and Mendy. The decline of Kepa and Mendy is when he wanted to renegotiate contract. His first choice, Kepa's on 200. So he was equal to that. But even if you was to drop Solskjaer down to De Gea down to 200s, he's still one of the highest paid goalkeepers.
Yeah, that's
crazy. 120, if that.
Yeah.
So how it was handled, how it was done, horrible. But from a business perspective,
it's the right one. It's the right choice.
The right one. I like De Gea. I've always liked De Gea. But it's if it's that time, and you always revert back to how it was handled, isn't it? But boy, Ten Hag's made the decision, and Onana's his way forward. But what's frustrating about Onana? Didn't he just sign for Inter last year?
Yeah, but on a free
after his drug ban. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. But the thing is, Inter Milan are in financial trouble, so they have to sell. They have to sell players.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
financially,
if Onana was available initially, and that's how you wanted to play, then why didn't you get Onana?
Yeah, but if the Premier League, he'd coming straight off the drugs ban, straight to Man United. That's gonna be. But that's how it is.
For it. Come on, but
that's how it's gonna be.
And that's how it doesn't make sense again for me. And that's why I'm just like, all right,
done
it again, innit?
Yeah, but
everyone knows Onana's qualities.
Yeah, but it could. Yeah, but it could. But the thing is, it could be. Like he's been out for 8 months. Let's see how he is. Is he coming back to the same level as he was?
But if he's on a free, what does that cost you?
But maybe he wanted to go in now. Maybe Man United did try to go for him. That's what I'm saying. But we don't know. But do you think Onana's an upgrade then?
Yeah, Onana's a top goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's one of the best in Europe.
So he always has been.
Yeah.
But Onana was out like one of the best. And really, how we say that Ajax for so long when everyone else was getting picked up was mad. So,
well, he has a theory on that, but we're not going to go into it. So, but I hear you. But no, it's right. But I hear you.
But yeah, it's sad times, man. Shout out to De Gea. You're a hater. There's many people that are hating on De Gea, but you can't.
Listen, I'm not hating on De Gea. I do think he's slightly a bit overrated. Does he go down as a Man United great? Does he go down the same as Schmeichel?
He doesn't go down as the same as Schmeichel. No, Van der Sar. Because Van der Sar was an outstanding keeper. Like, there you go. For that time where we were struggling to get a keeper, but he hasn't been horrible in a way that you needed to push him out the door straight away. And he's proved his worth. The money's killed him. So business is business. 350, even if you take it down to 200, that's still a lot of bread. That means you got to bring Onana in on more than that. If you're spending 50, then you got to add more than that for the wages. At least now you can say to Onana 150.
Yeah.
That's our structure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? De Gea just limits everything. So yes, he would have probably been a good backup or could have been there to fight for his position. But again, even if you cut his wages 40%, it still matters. That just shows how poorly we've just been run overall as a whole over the whole time period.
But De Gea's defense, I don't think he's like 100% all on him. But De Gea's defense, he will say, listen, you can say what I want. I just won another Golden Gloves last year. So he won the Golden Gloves.
This is it, isn't it?
I think it's more the defense. But I hear you. But he's won another Golden Gloves. I think he's been a good goalkeeper. I don't think he's great. He makes great saves, but I don't think he's an all-time great. I don't see him on the same
Not
level.
all-time great, but he sits at the table with them, man.
He sits at the same table with Schmeichel and Van der Sar.
Bro, you can make the tea in it. I don't know what you want to do. You can get the ice or something.
Nah, bro. He's mopping the floors, bro. He's mopping the floors, bro. He's nowhere near. He's nowhere near Schmeichel there.
He's not near the level, though. I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying that for the longevity and what the Player of the Season awards, you can't deny him.
Or is it just Man United? Or is it Man United were just so bad at that time?
Pardon?
Or is it just Man United was so bad at that time?
Oh, we were so bad at that time, and there's plenty of other areas that need fixing at the time. But it was also a status play, wasn't it? It was Glazers not wanting to get bullied by Real Madrid, and it was all of that. It was everything. It was just that's what I'm saying about how badly we was run, because it at the time you wouldn't have no one would have put a goalkeeper on at 350. You would have been like, cool, see you later. But they couldn't. With Glazers being how they are, and at the time,
they had to.
The hair was pulling up trees. They couldn't be seen at letting him go on a free. So that's what ended up being.
All right, last bit. If Onana comes in, it looks like that's a done deal. The Dutch striker, the Danish striker that's coming from
Holland. The fake Haaland. Haaland from Wish.
What's the new one? Timu? Is it Timu, the Chinese thing?
I keep seeing that, you know. Shot like a billionaire or something. These are suckers. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Nah, I'm not even going to kill him.
But I'm saying with Mount as well, what's Man United's realistic expectations next year? Is it to challenge until March, April, or be in the last 15 games, last 10 games? What's the all right, forget the realistic expectations. What's minimum requirement then for Man United next year?
Minimum requirement is always going to be what it is, isn't it? It's going to be get top four. I'm not just saying scrape top four. I'm saying be within at least mount a challenge at some point of the season. I'm not talking early parts of the season, but you've got to be in the conversation at some point. The problem, and again, go as far as you can in domestics, pick up a trophy where you can. But the Volland conversation's interesting because I haven't seen much of him, but then I don't think he's anywhere near the level that Greenwood is. So that's another conundrum that Ten Hag's got to deal with. So you're bringing in a player potentially for what they're talking 50 mil, and he's not better than what you potentially have already. Obviously, given the circumstances. But
the thing is, that's what I'm saying about you just said it. But Greenwood's more political. I think Greenwood's a world-class striker in the making. Or is it in a sense of you give us the striker, we give you Greenwood for a season. Let Greenwood have a season in Serie A and let it die down and let him come back to Man United. Because they've got to do something with him.
Well,
I'm not going into what's happened, but he's free to play football now, isn't it?
If he's free to go abroad and play, then what differs? If this is what we're doing, he's still on your books, he's still a United player. What are we doing? Are we taking a year to pull off the plaster? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how long is your internal investigation going to take? The facts, no matter what anyone says, the facts are the facts. Like, he wasn't taken to trial,
and he's free to play football. That's where it comes to.
He's got a baby coming with the same girl. Like, what are we doing there? Like, decision has to be made, innit? It's just a farce. Like, if he can play elsewhere and you're still going to keep him on the books, just pull off the plaster.
Yeah, you got to do one or the other. Keep him or sell him, innit?
Yeah, like, this just makes no sense, man. Like, you know what I mean? If he's free to play elsewhere, and we're saying he's free to play, it's either you play him or get rid of him. Because we're still having these shadows over Ten Hag. Yeah. These big dark clouds over Ten Hag because he's got the Greenwood situation to deal with. He's still got the Maguire, who's the captain of the club, to deal with. You're looking at the conundrum with Martial and Sancho. And
that was my my next question: does Martial and Sancho stay at Man United?
Listen, yeah.
What would you do? What would you? I know you're a big Martial fan.
I've got more of affinity with Martial than I do Sancho. And I think this is for fans. I think this is what it's same with De Gea, isn't it? He's been there 13 years. You grow. You have an affinity with these players. And Rashford coming through the youth, and then you got Greenwood coming through the youth. That sort of tugs on your heartstrings, so to speak. The the Sancho thing, the Martial. I've always liked Martial. We go back to the debut, man. Like, if you ever want to start off a career, like start it off scoring a goal like that against Liverpool. That's it. I was sold. I was in. You know what I'm saying?
Team Martial,
and I've backed him to the end of time. But now, you know
time's
what?
up. Time's up, man.
Even I'm saying, yo, your time is up, my guy.
Yeah,
and that's killing me to say it as well. But even then, I'm looking at Sancho, and Sancho's on his last chance saloon. If you choose to just keep Sancho, then he's on his last chance saloon, because you can't. And it's unfair because different generations, it's hard to judge and all the rest of it. But you see the whole social media thing that these kids do, that these lot do, doesn't help them. Do you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't help. Fairly or unfairly, it doesn't help the judgment. This is what Grealish suffers from. Grealish, for me, I don't care less, because you've done what you've had to do on the pitch. People may say he hasn't performed to a certain level, but that's irrelevant. The team masks whatever deficiencies he's had throughout the season. But yeah, man, Martial can't stay fit. Sancho, just he's got to calm it down and focus solely on football.
I don't think he can. I think he's just about that life, and I don't blame him because he's young and he's got loads of money. So who am I to say he should be focusing on football? The only thing I can say about Sancho is, if, in my opinion, I believe if the right offer comes in, I think Ten Hag will pull the trigger on him, because I think you've got someone in Garnacho, Garnacho, who's got the personality and the aura to be but he has aura. He knows he's good, and he's looking at Sancho.
He's looking at these man. At the minute, he's hungry.
Yeah, but he does the thing. He's got aura about him. I watch him and he must be thinking, these guys like Sancho, Martial, I will look you in the eye and say, you man are dead. Like, you man are old now. It's my time. You lot have had your chance. It's my time, because every time he comes.
What's Martial now? 27 max?
Yeah, but he's been around for ages, bro. He's had enough.
I know, but what's Sancho, 24?
Bro, they about to have their time. He's 18. He's a teenager, 19. I know, but and he's thinking these man are done now. It's my time. And every time I see Garnacho come on, he plays with personality. He plays like a Man United player. Like, when I know Man United, especially wingers got to have that swagger. They got to have that dribbling ability to get fans off their seat. That's what Man United, from history, from the 70s all the way up. If you look at Man United, have always had exceptional wingers, and Sancho's not one of them, man. He's not one of them. He's not one of them.
Well, I was hoping initially that Ten Hag's style of football was going to bring out the best in him, because it's that type of football. Mentally, I don't think he's there. Said it. Garnacho, no fear. He's at the minute he's playing with no fear. That's what youth brings sometimes. He's not overawed at all. So he's just on it, and he looks like he wants to be the best. He's got that sort of attitude about him. It's sad though when you look at Martial and you're looking at him and you are saying that he's 26, 27, and we're saying he's borderline finished, and you're looking at Sancho at 24, and you're saying that, and you're saying the same about him. So what is a long?
Well, I'm not saying they're finished. Like now? But last bit, because it's going over, I'm not saying they're finished, but they're not Man United level. Like, I look at Sancho. Sancho's a Tottenham at best, Aston Villa, where you see the best out of them, where there's no pressure to perform, and they will perform because it doesn't matter how good they play, because the pressure's not there. That's their level. Tottenham at best. But Man United, I grew up on Man United, winning leagues and Champions Leagues, their man ain't built for it. They're not. It's a different type of pressure. They've realised that. From Dortmund to Man United, a different league. The team might not be the best, but the expectations are a different world. And he's realising that. That's what it comes down to.
But you know, I got one for you because you've been quiet. This is what I mean. I don't know what it is. Yeah, the Sabozla thing. You've been quiet. I ain't heard you chat about it in the group, and you ain't chatted about it today. You made a sign, and I ain't hearing no noise. What is it?
All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We are Real Talk Football TV, and we are out.